John Thune and I, plus now 14 senators in total, 7 Democrats, 7 Republicans, said we need a comprehensive approach on how we deal with foreign-based technology coming out of China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, Cuba, and Venezuela, just those 6 nations, a foreign-based communications technology, so that we don't have the current approach which is whack-a-mole. Years ago, the Intelligence Committee found a problem with a Russian software company, Kaspersky. It took us years to get it off the market. Huawei, I've talked to you all about many times over the years. We're still paying taxpayer money to rip out Huawei equipment because of the national security implications. TikTok, and I'll come back to that in a moment, is the current discussion. But what we need is a comprehensive approach that's rules-based, because communication technologies, Chinese or otherwise, you have to meet a higher standard because of the First Amendment. Rules-based, that doesn't name a specific company, because that simply invites retaliation from our adversaries, that can stand up in court, but will give the Commerce Secretary the tools to force a divestiture, force other mitigation, up to and including banning. And now let's talk about TikTok briefly. TikTok is not just an American concern. India has already banned TikTok. Canada and the EU have already required, at least on governmental devices, they don't have TikTok. And the challenge with TikTok is 100 million Americans, mostly young people, on average 90 minutes a day on TikTok. That poses the potential of 2 national security issues. One, that all that data that our kids are using, because it is interactive TikTok, could end up being taken and deposited and in China and be subject to the Communist Party of China's challenges and threats. 2, and this one almost concerns me more, is the ability of the Communist Party. Because remember, every company in China, at the end of the day, has to abide by the request of the Communist Party of China. If the Communist Party were to say to TikTok's management, hey, we want you to not show videos that ever mention Taiwan, or we want you to show videos that says January 6th was nothing but a peaceful expression of tourists. That kind of propaganda tool, this could be as powerful a propaganda tool as anything we've ever seen. And I know people have asked, well, what about all the young people who really like it? Well, they can move to another platform, an American platform, a Canadian platform, an Indian platform, and I think the marketplace will create those alternatives. But my hope is that we will be able to see this broad bipartisan bill move quickly. The president's been supportive. I've heard from some of the most senior-most Republicans in the House of Representatives that they think this approach is that kind of thoughtful, not simply one-off approach that should become law. So this is a powerful, powerful, popular tool. I hope, and what our job is, and our job in the intelligence community is to kind of to declassify more information, is to say every time you're on TikTok, because of the cameras watching your results, because of your monitoring even some of your keystrokes, that data is being collected. And while I've got problems with Facebook and Google and Amazon, but at least at the end of the day, they're American companies, TikTok has to answer to the Communist Party. It's Chinese law. So your data is in jeopardy to be used in malicious ways down the line. The other is, if you've got as we see from some of our American broadcasting networks who come with a political view on the left or the right, if you've got this 90 minutes a day, semi-addicted audience that watches this, and subtly it's the message is changing, and the message is suddenly political, and it's anti-American or anti-Taiwan or pro-Communist Party, that's a challenge. And the thing that I would love to challenge any TikTok user to use, and it's hard to get on the Chinese site, because remember, China has a great firewall around the internet. They don't have a free and open internet. But the Chinese kids, Chinese young people have a version of TikTok that promotes science, engineering, work hard, be patriotic. Obviously, the TikTok that we and other people around the world isn't that way. So we've got to make the case that this is a national security concern. I can tell you it's sometimes hard. It took us a couple of years to make the case with Huawei. And now we're spending taxpayer money to rip it out because it is such a national security threat. But I think this is an issue. I also think what we need is a set of rules that can stand up to judicial scrutiny that will say, if it's TikTok today, who knows what it'll be tomorrow? If there was a ChatGPT model coming out of China, that should worry us, and we need to be ahead of these things. Most of the times we've been chasing after the fact. And this is the contest, particularly with China, that we're engaged in. Technology knows no borders, but there are certain technologies that can be used for malicious purposes and literally jeopardize American and personal security.